Oh, that's it. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. There, that's what we needed. Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Greater Naples. I'm Patty Bryan, and I have the joy and honor of being the worship associate today. I'm pleased and proud to have Skip Lundborg as our speaker today. He's been a member of UUCGN for the last 10 years, and he's spoken here several times. He's currently part of the Worship Associates team and a member of the Caring Committee, and now he's also serving on the Board of Trustees. Skip likes to tell stories, and you'll discover that this morning. Whether you're here in the sanctuary or out on our pavilion or watching us on Facebook Live, you're always welcome here. Here, we learn and grow together, and we try to take what we've learned and live our values out in public. If you're new to the congregation, we're especially happy that you found us. After the service, please join us for coffee and conversation out on the pavilion. Our hope is to make you feel welcome and help you find ways to connect. If you'd like to find out more about the congregation or about Unitarian Universalism, please feel free to come forward after the service and talk to us. And now we enter this time of worship with the morning's prelude.
Looking at my feet at a crack in the sidewalk, an old tin can by the side of the road. I nearly missed a rainbow, I nearly missed a sunset, I nearly missed a shooting star going by. While studying a brand new hole in my sneaker and finding a quarter and an old bus token, I nearly missed a rainbow, I nearly missed a sunset, I nearly missed a shooting star going by. Looking down at the ground means you know where you're going. No head up in the clouds to lead you astray. But you can't ever have any kind of dreams that way. Looking at my feet at a crack in the sidewalk, an old tin can by the side of the road. I nearly missed a rainbow, don't want to miss a rainbow. I wouldn't miss a shooting star going by, passing me by, going right by, going by.
To love life. To love life is to notice the wonders that are bound. And to notice the wonders that are bound is to be grounded here and now. And to be grounded here and now is the beginning of finding love for this life today. Let us ground ourselves in this instant in the worship of all things good and right. I invite you to join in the chalice lighting response, which will be on the screen and is in your order of service. May this flame stir our hearts and remind us of our mission to be truly welcoming, to grow in mind and spirit, and to widen the circle of peace, justice, and love. Patty will light the chalice for us this morning. I invite you to rise if you are willing and able to join in the opening hymn, number 188 in the gray hymnal. The words, I believe, will show up on the screen.
Yes. And we will be doing it as a round. I'll be starting each group and pointing. You know how to do this. It's just, it's one singer today. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come this side. Come, come, whoever you are. Come, come.
The Humble Bee by Ralph Waldo Emerson. Insect lover of the sun, joy of thy dominion, sailor of the atmosphere, swimmer through waves of air, voyager of light and noon, Epicurean of June. Wait, I prithee, till I come within earshot of thy hum. All without is martyrdom. Hath my insect never seen but violets and bilberry bells, maple sap and daffodils, grass with green flag half-mast high, succory to match the sky, columbine with horn of honey, scented fern and agrimony, clover, catchfly, adder's tongue, and briar roses dwelt among. All beside was unknown waste. All was picture as he passed. Wiser far than human seer, yellow-breeched philosopher, seeing only what is fair, sipping only what is sweet, thou dost mock at fate and care. Leave the chaff, keep the wheat. When the fierce northwestern blast cools sea and land so far and fast, thou already slumberest deep. Woe and want, thou canst outsleep. Woe and want which torture us, thy sleep makes ridiculous. Now, please remain seated and join in singing our centering hymn. When Summer Sun is Shining, it's number 66 in the gray hymnal, and the words will be on the screen.
When the summer sun is shining over golden land and sea, and the flowers in the hedgerow welcome butterfly and bee, then my open heart is glowing, full of warmth for everyone, and I feel an inner beauty which reflects the summer sun. When the summer clouds of thunder bring the long-awaited rain, and the thirsty soil is moistened and the grass is green again, then I long for summer sunshine, but I know that clouds and tears are a part of life's refreshment, like the rainbow's hopes and fears. In the cool of summer evening, when the dancing insects play, and in garden, street, and meadow linger echoes of the day, then my heart is full of yearning, hopes and memories flood the whole of my being, reaching inwards to the corners of my soul.
It is time for us to share, if we are moved to, with our joys and sorrows. Most of us know the formula pretty well. We want to avoid political statements and announcements and make it personal. So if you are moved to offer a joy and sorrow, I will bring you the mic, my wonderful assistant. Please stand and give us your name and share with us what's on your heart.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Truchon. I have both joy and sorrow. The joy is when I was seeking a place for my grandson to develop his spiritual side and a moral compass in life, I found this place. And Stephanie's done a fantastic job with the youth education program. It's been perfect. He's loved every minute of it, which is a bonus because I was going to make him do it whether he liked it or not. And then for me, just the warmth and welcoming nature of this group, even though our schedule with a young one has kept us from doing too many extracurricular activities, I've felt that from all of you and have made a few good friends here. Enjoyed some thought-provoking speakers, all the beautiful music. So thank you for all that. The sorrow is that we're moving. This is our last service. We are going to Atlanta, which is also a joy for Matthew. I think getting him out of Florida is better. But thank you all, and thank you for reminding me that not everyone in Florida is crazy.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm David Sleeper, and this has been a kind of a tough week for my husband Bill and I. Last weekend, I was asked to give the eulogy up in St. Petersburg for a friend who just died of cancer. And we just found out that a very dear friend for over 40 years who lives in Minnesota, where we're from, passed away of cancer after 5 years struggle. And that was very, very sad because we just talked to her earlier this week and she wasn't doing well, but she was struggling and ready. But it's been a real sorrowful week. It just seems like the time of life, or maybe just the time of the year, I don't know. But anyhow, it's so good to come here. This place, I call it the Friendship House. Peace, justice, and love for all equals friendship. And we need that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Hi, excuse me. I'm Heather Vladek, and I have a joy to share. My son Ryan is graduating on Thursday. You guys have seen him grow up here, and I'm really grateful for you all. Thank you.
Good. Where's he graduating from?
Baron Collier.
Okay. Baron Collier is the school. It's going to be missing a great student next year.
Hi, good morning. I'm Martha Cornell, and I also have a graduating senior from Oberlin College and Conservatory. My daughter, Caroline, has finished her Bachelor of Music and Violin Performance, so we're excited to go up next weekend. On Monday, she'll graduate.
Ah, great. Great. Congratulations. Congratulations. Get my walking in this morning.
Melanie Wicker. A few months ago, I shared that I have a younger son who got off to a very rough start in life. There was a lot of alcohol involved. He decided finally that he wanted to go back to school, go to college again, and he's been working full-time, and he took 5 courses, which made all of us wonder. But he got A's in all his courses.
Wow.
And never missed a single day of work. And he's saying now, I'm having to change my sense of what I'm capable of.
Wow, that's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yes, Miss Joanne.
Thank you. I almost forgot to tell you this, but on Mother's Day, our second great-grandchild was born. And it's a beautiful little boy. His name was Ethan. He lives in Orlando. I don't know when I'm going to see him, but someday I will. I've seen lots of photographs.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And the hand that she wasn't holding the microphone with is broken, but I'm glad she's here today. Thank you, Joanna. Any others? Anybody I missed? Okay. Sometimes when we are given the opportunity to share joys and sorrows, we find ourselves wondering whether this is the day I should speak of them. I'm grateful, we are all grateful for those of you who have chosen to do so today. It's not always easy, particularly when it's a sorrow. It's somehow easier when we're sharing a joy. But all of them are part of who we are. And thank you for sharing what you did today. Our meditation is called In Betweenness. We, you and I, are in between right now. In between what was and what will be. In between who we who we were and who we will become. In between letting go and embracing. In between saying hello and saying goodbye. In between this is a thing. In between this is a time of fullness, a time of anticipation, a time of hope, a time of worry, a time of sadness. In between this is a time of waiting, waiting for news, waiting for departure, waiting for arrival, waiting for death, waiting for life. In between this is a time of transformation, a time of reflection, a time of action, a time of growing, a time of becoming. During this time of in-betweenness, of knowing and not knowing, let us enter into the silence together.
Okay, I read about the bees, and now I'm going to read about the butterflies. To a Butterfly by William Wordsworth. I've watched you now a full half hour, self-poised upon that yellow flower, and little butterfly, indeed, I know not if you sleep or feed. How motionless, not frozen seas more motionless. And then, what joy awaits you when the breeze has found you out among the trees and calls you forth again. This plot of orchard ground is ours. My trees they are, my sister's flowers. Here, rest your wings when they are weary. Here, lodge as in a sanctuary. Come often to us, fear no wrong. Sit near us on the bough. We'll talk of sunshine and of song and summer days when we were young, sweet childish days that were as long as 20 days are now.
For and for our aid, that's all you have on your business like mine. To and to are for and for our aid, how can you be so blind? Inchworm, measuring the marigolds. In your arithmetic, you'll probably go far. Inchworm, measuring the marigolds. Seems to me you'd stop and see how beautiful they are. 32.
So much of our time is spent on big things. Large issues fill our lives. Personal issues, health issues, family issues. And then we connect with the issues of our state, of our nation, of the world. All big issues. In doing so, we become detached from the small things of the world, some of them quite wonderful. I have chosen to celebrate the small today. My remarks fall into three parts: an introduction, disclaimers, and insects. First of all, introduction. Midway in the last century, I completed my divinity school studies, a 3-year graduate program, which of course you might imagine includes studies of theology, church history, philosophies, psychology, pastoral care, the history and practices of the denomination into which you will be seeking ministry. There's one particular area called homiletics, which focuses on building, crafting, and delivering sermons or homilies. This is an important piece if one hopes to be serving a congregation with weekly services in which you are called upon to speak. One approach to that in ye olden days was very direct. It said that the sermon is to have 3 parts. First, open by telling them what you're going to tell them. Second, tell them. Third, you guessed it, remind them what you were talking about. Today, I am not going to follow that approach. In fact, I intend quite the opposite. I shall turn it upside down. And that leads me to part 2, disclaimers. I am now going to tell you what I'm not going to talk about. For example, I'm not going to cite our UU value or principle that points to the interdependent web of all creation of which we are a part. There would be no pointing to the fact that insects are definitely a part of that web. I'm not going there. I shall have no comment about the reality that both bees and butterflies are losing habitat at a rate that threatens their extinction. They are among 70 species endangered here in Florida, and among 35,000 species endangered worldwide. This is occurring because of several factors, most of which can be attributed to our human choices and practices. These are subjects for another day. When I get to my third point, bees and butterflies, in case you've forgotten where we're going here, I will not moralize, I will not anthropomorphize. These stories, though true, are not to lead you into translating the behavior of bees into parallels with our human behavior. I will offer no insight into human nature, nor suggest that creativity is often accomplished by outliers. This is just a story about bees. Similarly, what I offer about butterflies shall in no way suggest that we should consider the consequences of our impact on the environment of the world about us. It's a story about butterflies. Some may want to consider whether these stories are parables. Are they allegorical? That's a legitimate question. In answer, I say, I cannot be responsible for where these stories might take their listeners. That's up to you. I hope that these disclaimers will help us attend to the amazing description of nature that each story offers. All of this is to say, a story is a story. And now I present these two for your consideration. Bees. This is about honeybees. The study of apiology, I Googled it, is fascinating and complex. And I'm only touching a small part of that today. We know bees group together in hives, sometimes numbering as many as 500,000 bees in a single hive. The hive exists to protect its queen and to raise the young. There are many roles within the hive in order to maintain itself. There is an amazing social construct there that makes it all work. Today, I'm just going to focus on the foragers, the worker bees, the ones that collect pollen for the hive. It is but one amazing aspect of that life, but it's vital to the survival. The way it works is a wonder all its own. Bees, you see, have been using GPS for centuries. When a source of pollen is located by a single worker bee, it returns to the hive and performs a very intricate dance, which amazingly details with precision the exact distance, direction, and strength of the pollen supply. The response to this dance creates an actual beeline. It's a thing. All the workers follow the line. It is observable if you happen to be standing near, and painful if you happen to step in its way. I have said all the worker bees join that line, follow the route, collect the pollen, return to the hive. But that's not totally true. It leads me to telling about an aberration, a deviation from the plan. There's a very small percentage of workers who do not join the line. So far, we have been unable to ascertain why this happens. Perhaps they were simply not paying attention when the dance was performed. They were busy looking somewhere else. Maybe they were not paying attention. Perhaps they have an aversion about being told what to do. I'm not going in that line. Whatever the cause, they wander off on their own. They do their own searching in the course of flying about independently. Somewhat like Unitarians, I suspect. And in their independent flying, they discover a new source of nourishment, a fresh source of pollen. Then they return to the hive and they become the dancers of a new dance, a new source, a new vitality for the hive. It's a small wonder. Butterflies. Actually, this story involves not only lepidopterists, those who study butterflies, it also includes meteorologists, or weather people. We begin with the life cycle of the butterfly. We all learned this somewhere in elementary or junior high. Egg, larva, pupa, adult. It takes 4 weeks for the larva to emerge from its chrysalis as a butterfly. Today I'm picking particularly on monarch butterflies. You know, the big orange and black ones that kind of remind you of Halloween. Monarchs are amazing in many ways, not the least of which is their annual migration from central Mexico to southern Canada. It begins in early spring and follows the warming weather trends northward. And then, as cool weather sets up in the north, the return trip begins. A round-trip journey of over 5,000 miles. No single butterfly can fly that far. In fact, it takes multiple generations. Yet millions of them will return to the exact spot in Mexico that their forebears left the year before. The great, great, great offspring of those who began the journey are the ones who complete it. I wonder, how does an emerging butterfly in, say, North Carolina decide, I think I'll head toward Canada? And similarly, on the return trip, a chrysalis opens, a butterfly emerges in New Jersey, of all places, and says, I think I'll go to Mexico. How does that happen? How do they know? It's another small wonder. In Florida, we have a subset all our own of monarch butterflies. Southwest Florida is unique in this respect. Our own subset of monarch butterflies. They are not migratory. There are no snowbirds, or should I say snow butterflies. They're here year-round. Though this story could be told of any kind of butterfly, I'm going to stick with our local monarchs. And now, a bit of insight from meteorology. This is about thunderstorms. Thunderstorms are a big deal in our state. Most of us have experienced the inconveniences of thunderstorms. Some of us have had, almost all of us at some point have had power outages. Some of us may have suffered property damage as a result. After all, we are the lightning capital. I know you're thinking, isn't this supposed to be about butterflies? Yes, it is. I need it 1 more minute. Okay, here it is. Meteorologists tell us that on any given day, midsummer, out in the Everglades, the conditions are ripe for development of thunderstorms. It is hot. It is insufferably muggy. The humidity has maxed out. Everything is there except a trigger to create the thunderstorm. And you guessed it, butterflies. One monarch butterfly coasting along over the river of grass at just the right time, with just a flutter of a wing, manages to mix enough of the humidity and the heat and all of the conditions. The butterfly goes on. But a couple of minutes later, if the butterfly had a rearview mirror, you would see that a thunderstorm is being built. Thunder and lightning. Thousands will be affected. It'll move toward Naples. And it will rain. It will rain and inconvenience us once more. We got the windshield wipers going, and traffic is a hassle, and we can't get into the store or into our house. Traffic is a mess. Perhaps more power outages occur. Maybe our electricity's out. And at the very same time, the much needed rain of those storms makes our living possible. The flowers flourish and bloom, and the bees come. Indeed, everything that lives here awaits that rain. It is life itself for us. So, when a thunderstorm imprisons you in your car because you've left the umbrella in the trunk, when you're waiting for a break in the deluge in order to make a dash for it, you might wonder, and hopefully with a smile, is this one a gift from a butterfly? Thank you.
This congregation has so much to offer. Wonderful programming, engaging worship, excellent musical offerings, a fabulous staff, this wonderful facility, the incredible garden, not to mention a community of people, you, with whom we share our lives and our journeys. Grateful for the gifts of those who came before and honoring the time and talent of so many of us that make things happen every day. Hopeful for the future that reflects our dreams, the morning's offering for the ongoing work and mission of this congregation will be happily received. If you're watching at home, please consider sending in a gift. The information that you need is right on the screen.
I don't want to drive a fancy car today. I don't want to ride in a red Corvette. I don't want to jog my Saturday away, but I don't want to go home yet. Today is not the day to jump out of a plane. I don't want to parasail or play roulette. I don't want to risk it all or go insane, but I don't want to go home yet. I just want to watch the birds go by from my handy foldable blue canvas throne. I want to watch them fly and fly and see them soar up into the unknown. But I feel just like a nerd watching birds, watching me here all alone. I don't want to break dance or learn taekwondo. I don't want to fish till all the fish are gone. I don't want to roller skate even if it's slow. I don't want to pass out in a marathon. I don't like soccer, baseball, track, or field. I'm not up for a match of polo. I don't want to seek or try to stay concealed. I'm also not up for water polo. I just want to watch the birds up there, track their migratory patterns as they flow. I want to watch them from my chair with my binoculars, my latte, and my phone, trying to spot a lark in the park, parked in nature all alone. Alone here with the doves, the sparrows, the ospreys, the owlets, the egrets, and my list. It's just me and Mr. Finch, the robins, the kingfishers, the snipes, but I've heard they don't exist. Each little species in its little way can teach me what awaits you if you can get away. I want to watch the birds do what they will. Sorry if I'm ornithologically prone. I want to watch from somewhere undisturbing, quiet, calm, still, and sit right here and gaze at the unknown. I don't want to fly in the sky, I just want to be alone. I just want to be alone.
We have a few reminders of what's happening this week at UUCGN before we get to sing again. Missy Cowan's exhibit of watercolor paintings continues in the Maneker Gallery. Please be sure to check it out. It's really great. Also, in Florida, hundreds of thousands of hardworking adults do not have access to life-saving health care. That can change. A ballot initiative will allow Floridians to decide if Medicare should be expanded. Petitions to sign are right in the front lobby and will also be out on the pavilion. Like the petition drive for Amendment 4, UUCGN will be a hub to help collect signed petitions. Also, join film fans this Tuesday at the new Alamo Draft House. That's in Mercado, I think. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. at 2:45 to see a movie and dinner at 5 at the Burntwood Tavern. And you should contact Cheryl Inglis in order to RSVP. Also, and I'm not sure, whoever wrote this, I may need your help. It says fourth Wednesday, something like that. Okay, thank you. Dining Around the World on Wednesday. Call Betty Guyton for reservations by tomorrow.
At 4 o'clock, please come if you can to our second Rising Stars concert that we're having. We'll have more next season, but this is the last for now. And that will feature violinist Natalia Rosen, who you've heard perform in services here, I think as recently as January, maybe. And Frank Sanders, who is a saxophonist and multi-woodwind player. He's extraordinary. They're both students at FGCU, and of course Abby will be playing with them, and the repertoire is varied and really wonderful, really interesting music. And it's a free concert, but there will be a free will offering to support their summer music activities same as the last one that we had last Saturday. So I hope you can come, 4 o'clock, Frank Sanders and Natalia Rosing, really great music.
Thank you. Thank you. This last hymn, number 311 in the Great Hymnal, is chosen purposely because I've spent some time talking about bees dancing and butterflies floating, and I figure it's nice to recognize that people also dance. So, if you're willing and able to rise and join in this hymn, let it be a dance.
This dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Let a dancing song be heard. Play the music, say the words, and fill the sky with sailing birds. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Learn to follow, learn to lead. Feel the rhythm, feel the need. To reap the harvest, plant the seed. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Everybody turn and spin. Let your bottom learn to bend. And like a willow with the wind. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. A child is born, the old must die. A time for joy, a time to cry. Take it as it passes by. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Morning star comes out at night. Without the dark there is no light. If nothing's wrong, then nothing's right. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance. Let the sunshine, let it rain. Share the laughter, bear the pain. And round and round we go again. Let it be a dance.
We all carry stories, and when there's a chance, share one with a stranger. Invite them to dance. Of peace, justice, and love, there seems never enough. Share the joy on the bright days and grit when it's tough. Having said that, I've no more to say, save this small reminder. Have a wonder-filled day.